We have tried our best to list at least 3 learnings from the presentations made in the morning. One good learning that we have discussed and agreed upon was, even though we have seen many case studies presentation in the morning, none of them really focused on the sanitation sector. So what we felt was more and more new technological innovations like mobile technology in the sector of sanitation need to be brought upon to address the issue of open defecation. And we also felt that combining traditional systems with technology is the way forward, because two of the major players who can influence the family and in terms of behavioral changes, children and youth. So they have to be taken into account when we do this, especially in the case of using mobile technology. And we also felt that there were a number of pilot studies which were very successful, but at the same time, the number of such pilot studies, when they were expanded, when they are scaled up, the same kind of the same level of success were not found. So we need such kind of pilots which were scaled up successfully at the larger scale. And at the end, we actually, one of the major learning is mobiles only can be a support system, but not a solution in itself. Because even if you have mobiles, it is not guaranteed that people will use toilets. So more support system is needed than mobile. So we have to be very careful with that first, and then how mobile can be used to enhance the results. What aspects can be adapted for enhancing sanitation coverage and use? One aspect that can be adapted is the information which is available. At present, it is one way, in the sense that the information flows from the government to the public, but it is not the other way, because the end users, the common public, they are ready to use it in many cases, but they have a number of questions, doubts, for which the clarifications are nowhere, because they don't know to whom to go for seeking clarifications or answers to these questions. So this has to be addressed. And the other one is how mobiles, that is the mobiles can be used for enhancing awareness on sanitation and hygiene, and also this can be used for reinforcing information through like SMS or IVR that we discussed earlier, which can be adapted for this sector, particular sector. And the other one we discussed was, even when people are ready to use toilets, even when they make applications, it takes an incredible time to process those applications. So the procedures, processing, everything has to be simplified and digitized, so that the entire process is very simple and encouraging for common public to access and use it. What improvisations need to happen? So as I said, in the case of earlier problem, the process is so cumbersome because it is more centralized. For everything you need to go at the district level. So if it is decentralized at the local level, because more people will start using it. And the other suggestion we made was a toll-free number can be set up for queries, for the queries of the people to be addressed. So it's not only mobile technology, but a toll-free number which would be much more useful, because anyone who has any doubt can call up this number anytime and get clarified. And attention to the quality of construction, maintenance and upkeep of toilets, because this is one area, even where construction was made, it's not properly constructed, so people were not able to use it, or in many cases it's not hygienic. And this is where we thought the CSR can also play play an important role in taking up sanitation issues, because at present most of the corporates they are ready to take up projects on education and health sector, not much on sanitation. So we felt this can be made possible. And on the lines of morning's presentation on ranking of primary health center in terms of infrastructure, services, etc., we thought ranking of panchayats or blocks at different levels in terms of the number of toilets or quality of toilets, usage of toilets would be a good idea, so that more and more panchayat level bodies and government bodies will be encouraged to make this happen, and more people will also come forward to use this. We could not do this because we thought it is too early, so here also we have not we could not do like how, by whom and by when, because we were not so clear about it. So that's all. Thank you.
So my question related. So what? I'm sorry, I have to push the envelope. What happens after this? After today, what happens? What is the next step? How all of the discussions that happen in the three groups? Okay, let's park it. We won't conclude it right now. Don't answer. But it's a question that I have in my head. That what happens after today, all of these discussions, how do we move them? Over to the second group.
I have an answer, but I'll answer it at the end.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Our group learnings are, the first learning is like literacy and understanding and awareness of the use of mobile application, or mobile is a must. In terms of Tamil Nadu context, we have discussed, and even though the usage of mobiles, like 75 or 80% of people are using mobiles, so the people are if we give any little training, definitely Tamil Nadu people can take up any kind of applications. So they need some little training or awareness on that. The second point is like orientation of relevance and contextualization, and NGOs who work with communities could be handy in doing so. So that's the point I explained. Consideration and understanding among the providers that mobile is a necessity. Need-based or need assessment has to be done in both ways, whether the government is really need this technology, or the community where we are going to work, they need this technology to really adapt. Next drop must be adopted and implemented in urban areas, and the same could be explored further to make it relevant in rural areas, including water availabilities in schools. We thought like in urban areas, definitely yes, wow, this case study was really, wow, it is a very good thing for us. But in terms of when we were discussing on the rural sites, many rural children or many areas, they don't even have a pipeline. They don't even have water facilities. They have very strict times where they get water. 9 to 10 is the only water time. So in that case, I think next drop will not work there. So that's the areas we thought. These are the learnings. And ownership from the government is essential in all 4 or 5 departments to adapt mobile as a primary tool for communication. I think government support is very necessary, as well as from the state as well as the district level. Scaled up implementation strategy is extremely important. Pilot process is really good, but we need to, the issue is very big, so any scale up implementation strategy is very important to take it further. So these are the learnings which came up from our group. What can be adopted for enhancing sanitation coverage? So target education community, including teachers for awareness and necessary hygiene. they can take that message even to home and to the community, so there is a ripple effect happens. So this mobile technology, we should start with the teachers in the schools. So that's what the point. Water and sanitation related messages that could be spread through mobiles targeting teachers, like an audio, video, and text. And also, we also thought of standardization of content is very important, so that everybody gets the same message. Other target people could be Anganwadis, self-help groups, and also PRI members can be the next targets. First target is like schools and teachers, children and the teachers. So the next drop and the Caddy's fly can be adapted, and Mobisodes, Ammanji can also be adapted to do the sanitation coverage. Because in sanitation, we really thought of like people are aware that they need toilets. They don't have the habit of cleaning, so they don't like to clean. For the behavioral change, they don't like to clean, and there is no proper water facilities, and there is no proper sewage facilities. So to have a behavioral change, I think the Ammanji's videos we need to adapt, give more orientation or awareness programs. So that should continue for 1 year. So to get a change, then only we can have usage. What improvisation needed? Next drop and Caddy's fly can also, and also Uni4 and Ammanji Mobisodes can be used. Making next drop work for sanitation and hygiene projects, collecting information on availability and non-availability, qualitative analysis, possibility of including toll-free numbers. Starting point could be schools, Anganwadis, and sub-health centers. Next steps and timelines, we thought like UNICEF Chennai, prioritization of key intervention in consultation with government and other stakeholders. And CCFC, which is my organization, is ready to take up this forward to zero in the need analysis and solutions, and make corresponding linkages and take the solutions to the ground level through NGO partners. It could be, we start with our own partners. We are present in 7 districts and 2 districts in Andhra, so probably we can take it forward. So that's the timeline that we have given. Any questions? My team will answer.
How do you see Next Drop being adapted for sanitation, and how do you think that information system would be, best, devised and best structured?
What we were discussing in our group is when we are talking of sanitation, household sanitation in the present context of the extent of open defecation and the non-coverage of the toilets, would like to prioritize amongst institutions, like Anganwadis, the schools. And since, as UNICEF, we are also working in health centers, so especially the assessment of the wash facilities. So that could be another institution within, let's say, a district to take it to start up with. So that was what we are looking at. Anganwadis, schools, and health centers. So if you can map this out, I think we would cover quite a range within a district. And we're looking at children as change agents. So if we are able to satisfy and saturate these institutions, probably it will have a ripple effect at the community level also.
So now I'm just wondering specifically on what kinds of information could be, transmitted to the various beneficiaries.
Look, like if we're talking in terms of does it have safe water facility? Does it have a toilet? Is the toilet in the Anganwadi child friendly? How is the midday meal being cooked up? Do you have sufficient hand washing facilities?
A feedback mechanism.
Yeah, it's a feedback mechanism.
you can involve, say if you were to take this up through your partner NGOs in 7 districts of Tamil Nadu, this meaning any which thing that we come up with after the prioritization, etc., then how do you see the scale up happening when you've, and I think the scale up point came up in my head also when Unifor was presenting the MP example, and the fact that it was used for 1 year and then somehow nobody was interested in taking it up. So what do you think as a way forward should be done in order that the scale up is tied up from the beginning? Just a question.
Actually, the given so many millions of children around us are kind of suffering MDG goals to be achieved. How do we kind of take the projects that we are doing for like Impact District A, 1,000 children impacted here, to 1 million children across the nation? That's the we need to kind of have that agenda in our mind in every of the action that we are doing. So whatever needs to happen in terms of prioritization, collaboration, can we leverage ICT, which is where we can have a fraction of a cost go, to kind of, so that's the kind of thought process. How do we impact millions of children rather than just thousands, right? Can we design from that angle and see who are the partners to be impacted, to be consulted, and take them along and leverage ICT where it's a cost-effective scale-up model. So that's the thought process.
Basically, you're saying a simple design to begin with, which lends itself to replicability. Any other thoughts, questions? Okay, let's have one, please.
That's the same one. Should I make it?
Good evening, all of you. And our topic is how could we use the mobile applications for the frontline workers, and the interesting learnings that we had from the morning sessions where we can use the mobile for data collection. Actually speaking, thanks to NIC, we have got a lot of data. In fact, to the heights of even how many households in the state have got toilets and how many households don't have the toilets. We have the database, but we don't have the mobile numbers, unfortunately. But we have the addresses of all these people, and we also have the information of how many of them are falling in the below poverty line, how many of them are falling in the above poverty line within the categories given in the Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan, which is the sanitation program now happening. So apart from this, I think there are a lot of data yet to be collected, and the mobile numbers of the people who have toilets and don't have toilets, we are already having it. And probably the Swachhta Doots, that is the sanitation workers who are there in the field, they might have to collect, they might be put in the field to collect the mobile numbers which is left out. That is the only thing left out from the households. I think that can happen over the phone. And number 2 is reasons. That is major thing. The reasons for not using right from the field. If that could be collected, that information could be collected, and that would be a great application, and that could be a major usage also. Reasons for not constructing is different, and not using it is again a different thing. So that is one important thing. And there could be a two-way communication using this IVRS technology. Where the Swachhta Doots, who are the frontline workers, not only the frontline workers for the sanitation, there are other people also, the Anganwadi workers, ASHA workers, VHN. These people are all frontline workers who can, at least with their own level, they can definitely contribute to the construction and the usage of toilets. If there could be a two-way communication between these frontline workers and the officials who are there in the block level, district level, and in the state level, there definitely would be a major change which can happen, because a lot of policies which is becoming top to bottom, and there is very minimal of bottom to top communication happening. And that is exactly a major challenge, not only with the government of Tamil Nadu departments, especially in the Tamil Nadu, it's across the world, especially in countries like India. The bottom to top communication is not at all happening. And a lot of policies being evolved at the top and just pushed to the bottom. And I think mobile can definitely help us in having a two-way communication. And apart from that, there are a lot of motivational things to happen. The Swachhta Doots, they are sanitary workers who are working without any remuneration. Actually speaking, there is a very minimal remuneration. Every toilet being constructed, the Swachhta Doot, if he or she claims that it was because of them, then they are paid 75 rupees for a toilet, which is very, very minimal. It is something equal to zero. So it's nothing. And so it is, all that needs is motivation. A lot of motivation to happen for them, and there can probably be motivational things. We have also listed out few wild imaginations. Probably end of the thing I can read it out. So motivational communication can happen, and on the other side, monitoring can also happen. A lot of houses having the toilets, constructing the toilets, and taking a lot of time to get the subsidies from the government. So monitoring should be definitely in the place, and I think the mobiles can definitely do a lot of difference. The grievance system, I think we all felt there are a lot of things, since they are being volunteers. They definitely have a lot of complaints in terms of their motivational level, or even those meager money being paid to them also. So when someone is being heard, it definitely helps them to work better, number one. And number two is, when others, the people, the general public, if they could say that I have the problem for toilet construction, probably because of the scarcity of water or scarcity of space or the government subsidy not reaching on time, I think these grievances can be definitely be addressed using the mobile phones. And the very important other point is the mobisodes, mobile episodes that we saw this morning. We have been developing a lot of films. UNICEF is now helping us in doing a lot of films. And there is a major challenge in taking those films to the people. We have to take it through the television sets, which is again only on one particular time, which might be missed by the Swachhta Doots or any other people who are there working in the field. And when these films are specifically taken through a person who is specifically working for sanitation on their own phones, and I'm very sure it is definitely going to make a lot of change, because the film on the mobile will be there for them to watch, and people will be there to speak to them and to clarify their doubts. And if at all there is any other thing as a matter of suggestion, they can take it back and pass it on to the other officials and higher ups. So that is yet another interesting thing that we saw. And what aspects can be adapted for enhancing the sanitation coverage and usage? Again, the same mobisodes that can, this not only has to be with the Swachhta Doots. I think the Anganwadi workers, the VHNs, and the public health centers, I think all these field level workers who work not only for sanitation, also for the health, when they have these kind of videos or any message that they can speak out, that becomes more effective, and that is exactly the behavioral change that can happen. The photos of construction status, that is a very interesting thing that is already happening in government of Tamil Nadu. Already NIC, which is working for Department of Rural Development, is already coming up with this system. There is one particular person called overseer. If anyone doesn't know, there is a designation called overseer from every block, who will go to the government constructions happening, say it is AAY or a greenhouse or the toilets also that is being constructed out of the government subsidies. They have to go to those places and have to oversee whether the particular construction is happening within the prescribed design. So the overseas are now going to be given a mobile phone, which is a higher end phone. Actually, not a very simple phone. It's really going to be a higher end phone where they can take a photograph of the construction status, and as and when they get the signal, it will obviously will be uploaded, and anyone can have within the government system, anyone can have the access of whether the particular toilet is being constructed in that particular latitude or longitude. So out of this GPS system, it's already being done. And another suggestion that came from this group was, more than the construction status, I think the usage status also has to be monitored, because a lot of toilets are not being used. Most of the toilets are used as kitchens or any other storage systems within the households. So if there could be a functional status check after say 6 months or 1 month, 1 year, then that is also another interesting thing that we can take off. What improvisations need to happen? We have these improvisations. I think we need to think a lot about it. So I'm just going to the immediate next steps and timeline. Probably one among the next steps is to think about the improvisations immediately. And the first thing is, I think, as a person from the Department of Rural Development, I think that responsibility falls under me, that to take this concept to the higher-ups, to sit with the appropriate officers and discuss with them and take all the learnings that I had from this one day, and also there's a lot of materials that the DEF and UNICEF is going to give me. We need to take it to the higher officials and to introduce this concept to them. That is number one. And definitely there should be an internal consultation with other departments, and which we call it as convergence. And we need to involve and consider more applications, mobile applications, in designing when you're designing the awareness campaigns, because there are a lot of IEC campaigns that we do, and we have been using only the SMS as a only application with respect to IEC, but there are a lot of things that we can do out of mobile, and a lot of applications that can be done using the mobile. And another immediate thing that we have to do is, I think, the collection of mobile numbers of the households that we simply missed. A lot of address and the profile of the person is being collected, has already been collected, but we missed out the mobile numbers. Once we have the mobile numbers, I think we can directly hit with the messages or any other two-way communication with these households who are the real target audience. And the planning for resources required for campaigns and mobile applications, I think there, apart from being the technology a matter, I think there are a lot of resources also needed. A matter of mobile is again a good resource, which is a required resource. I think those resources also definitely have to be planned. So that is it. And before I finish, I want to share a few wild and interesting, of course, ideas. I just have made it as a question, not a question. There are 5 questions. It's just an imagination. What if Rajinikanth speaks to open defecators in the morning or the previous night? What if the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu or any other state for that reason speaks to the best field worker every day? What if the voice of collector reaches every citizen early in the morning? It could be of health, or it could be of sanitation, or it could be any other topic which is relevant to that particular season. What if there is a voice of Dr. Chichi Cholapa? That is, Chichi Cholapa is a person who was there as a model for the campaign that we did on sanitation. Reaches the open defecators who doesn't have the individual toilets. What if there could be a quiz that is happening for prizes, for which the prizes can be announced? I think these are things I think we need to travel towards. And probably if all this comes out, it is not only the mobile technology as the first group spoke. It is a lot to do with the other departments' assignments. It involves a lot of political will. And I hope everything can start with this workshop. Thank you so much. Any questions? Please do. Don't ask a question because you were in our team. Correct. Absolutely.
For the Swachhata Doot.
Absolutely.
Especially since you will have to change the format. There's some format business, but other than that, it can straight away go off. So already available shortlisted stuff that you can just put onto the thing. The other thought I had was that none of us explored because we had no case presenters, our fault, on games. We have had in the last workshop somebody who presented games for young people, and they develop mobile games. So that's another thing that can be done for school children, and it's children love playing on mobile phones, and even the simple phones have, basic phones also have some games that are beyond Snake and things like that. So that's another. But not directly. They have to be entertaining. They can't be. I must have the thrill of doing something. Maybe it could be as, I don't know, depends on how we develop it. Something.
Childbirth and all that. So they made games for social change. That's the Games for Change was the name of the company, and they were making those games. So I think so those are also available, and that has been very impactful.
Yeah.
So it was all in Hindi so that it can cater to the local, and in very interesting ways of playing the game itself. It was educating the mothers what to do, what not to do, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay, that's that. Now my question about what next. There are some what next steps here. Group 2 also had some what next. Group 1, any thoughts on what should happen after here? Yeah.
Yeah, while going through these slides of all the three groups, I mean, something which occurred to me, which we perhaps missed individually, is I think we all believe that like, decentralization is the way to go. And when we are talking about sanitation, the more popular statistic till recently has been that India has more mobile phones than toilets. But I think one other statistic which we missed talking about today was that India also has 3.7 crore missing toilets. The census 2011 figures and the figures of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. The Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation says that 53.09% toilet coverage has been done. The census figures show a whopping 22% difference. We have to believe the ministry's figures also because that is the money which has already been spent. Those are the subsidies which are given. But we also have to believe the census figures because they are door-to-door data collection. So we have 3.7 crore missing toilets. Okay. And which is why I would like to stress 3.7 crore missing toilets across India. Because this is 3.7 crore, 37 million missing toilets. Missing toilet into, on an average, say it's 6,000 to 12,000 are the various subsidies in different states. If you take 10,000 as an average, when you can calculate the amount which is gone. Okay, so we're talking serious numbers here, and so just connecting that to decentralization, use of mobiles by the frontline workers. I would reiterate, kind of the use of mobiles for data collection on the ground, and that this be used for bottom-up planning, So, and when it comes to planning, our own experience in health says that, although bottom-up planning has been desired in terms of documents from NRHM, it isn't happening. So it also includes building capacities of at the district level, not just, so we'll have to just look at the gamut of all these levels, and so we use mobiles for data collection, for bottom-up planning, which means we have to make sure that the data we are getting from the ground is reliable. It means we have to insulate the ASHAs and the Swachhata Doots and the ANMs from other extraneous environmental, social pressures. So there is a lot that will, have to happen there. So I think, technology should get used there. The second comment which I wanted to make was like to Alka's first question about scale up. Any study which is piloted has to be piloted in districts or regions with different kinds of socioeconomic characters, and that's when you will come to a common questionnaire or a common set of questions or a set of questions or parameters which are common across different kinds of regions. And so that evolution of that common minimum set of parameters has to happen over a period of time. And the second thing is, when we scale something, say from a district to a state or a state to a country, we have to also know that the milestones and the timelines to reach the milestones cannot remain the same. It will be slower by a certain degree. So these are two comments which I wanted to make.
What's your definition of
Missing toilets is money has been spent on these toilets as per the department. They don't physically exist.
Yeah, I would just like to respond that you have raised a valid point. The concept of missing toilets, I think, initiated last year early, where we had a scam in UP. About 3,000 crore scam came out, predominantly in UP, where the toilets were just missing. There were no toilets as such, but they have been booked up under the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and the online entries were there. But now this whole concept of missing toilets, when you say 3.7 crores, if you take it across all the states, it also connotes other aspects also. Like in the context of Tamil Nadu, we don't have any missing toilets as such, but we have dysfunctional toilets, right? So like, which were made somewhere in the early 90s, but due to many factors like poor construction, poor operation maintenance, natural disasters like the tsunamis and the cyclones which come up, especially in the coastal belt, they have been just dismantled, raised off. So Tamil Nadu also has a percentage of dysfunctional toilets. The data is also coming up, shortly will be shared by the department. So again, for that point of view, again, Government of India has also launched a scheme under the Mahatma Gandhi NREGS program. But they have made an open-ended scheme for the rural development departments, where they have given a lump sum provision of 10,000, not for a toilet specifically, but for any other things which could be taken up by the department. And it has been left to the state governments to how to utilize that fund. So the processing and how to use those funds which are standalone under MNREGS, not in integration with NB and the MNREGS, that has been left to the state governments. But your point is well taken. There are issues, and how mobile can really track individual built toilets.
Authentic ground.
How can they be authenticated? Yeah.
Or 4 people. One is Caddisfly, the other is Vodafone, and Reverie. Can you come forward? Okay, so yes, because in fact you have an advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is that Pardon me? You, whatever, if you feel like coming there, if that is more comfortable, otherwise you can speak from here. But so should we start with? So there are 3-4 organizations and whose solution and whose participation were still being awaited, that how they can contribute in this entire ecosystem. You know, his is a typical case of an app and thing. Yours is more infrastructural. That's the reason it was by design that you and Vodafone were, you know, kept at bay, in the sense that you come a little later to tell, because it adds value to everything that we all are doing. Same is, you know, telecom service providers. So let's, this is one app that we could have seen in the morning itself, but if you can showcase.
Just a point of order. Before they share their views, can I suggest something like immediately, what next? The people from Tamil Nadu, because I think we are talking what is next in Tamil Nadu. So the people who were responsible organizing today's consultation can take it or lead it forward by having another meeting with some of the stakeholders here to plan out a clear blueprint how the mobile technology can be used. And second thing is we experiment or we do a need analysis by doing a piloting in one of the districts, and then take it forward than just banging with any of the plans, because we need to have a test. We need to test. It may have worked in North, but we cannot universalize for the entire country. So let's have testing, and before that, let's have a planning, clear planning, because we are the people who have got experience of working with our own people. So this is my suggestion. Now over to you. You can give your suggestions, please.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm from Caddisfly. My name is Ankit.
I'm Saurabh. We work on the hardware of Caddisfly.
And we'll just give you a really quick, short demo of how Caddisfly works. Caddisfly is a low-cost, multi-parameter water quality testing kit that goes on the back of your phone. So there are 14 parameters which you generally need to certify something as drinking water. So this is only the fluoride test, and we'll do the demo now.
We're in process of developing for coliforms and pH.
Yeah. We're in the process of developing for coliforms and nitrates and pH also. And that's for later. But that's what I meant by this is a multi-parameter test kit.
So the components of the kit are in here. These are just the cartridges required to do the test. I mean, there's one cartridge, and these are the and there's a phone case which you. So I'll just show you how to do it. Stand on it. Yeah, you can't really see the screen from here, but this is the app, and I'm gonna slip it in. Then
You take the cartridge and you fill a sample of water in that cartridge. No, we're not testing GRT water, we're testing a sample. Yeah, okay. So you take your sample of water in the cartridge, rinse it once, just so that the cartridge has only the water that you want to test. You take a reagent cartridge, you just fit it into the cartridge and close it. So you're taking a sample of water, you're just taking one cartridge out of the thing, putting it inside and closing the cartridge. Shake it. There's a reagent. It helps you detect fluoride.
you have the option of getting your GPS coordinates and everything, and it'll get your location for you. I've already done that. So, and start new test. Select fluoride.
Yeah, put it face down on the table. Wait until you hear a click.
No. So the camera, it's a color change based test, so which the camera measures, and so right now it takes a couple of samples and averages them. It uses the phone flash. Yeah. So it's based on an existing test where actually people do measure the color change by their, but then depending on the different light conditions and even the person who's viewing it, the color can look different. So, okay, colors out of range. It's saying according to the cartridge. Wait, I'll redo the test.
Just give one more try. The color range went beyond what's there, so you might have to do it once more.
What will you do now? If the range has gone beyond, so what are you proposing now?
You just have to do the test again, that's it.
Like a restart Windows.
What happened? You put it back in your pocket and use it to make calls. No, nothing will happen to the phone. I mean, just continue using it like your normal phone.
So does it require an Android system?
Right now, yes, but the main thing that it requires is a camera and a flash. So it can be developed on any phone that has, theoretically can be developed on any phone that has a camera and a flash. Right now we have a working prototype only on Android.
So it may have some dependency on the quality of the phone's camera and the flash.
Yes, so it would be brilliant if we could test on every single phone to like just give like a whitelist of, you know, it works brilliant on these phones and it doesn't work brilliant, so that people can continue using only those phones. Right.
Everybody stands still with camera.
It's open source completely. The code is up. Everything's up. You can build it yourself.
And right now we made it out of available BBC components. So actually, there are readily available parts that anyone can put together.
That's the trouble where I'm. That's true. You get the ready-made back cases for each phone. You just use that and then attach this circular thing on the back. Then you can use that phone. I mean, it has to be Android, but yeah, at least running Android right now.
Backside is basically on the camera. Okay.
Some technical difficulties. Yeah, the demo is doomed. Come on. Yes. 0.00 GRT good water.
There is the option of uploading it online, but then right now there's no visible database. So.
How many parameters are you getting checked as of now?
As of now, it's just fluoride. Only fluoride on this, but like.
Your app, how many parameters can you do?
It can do fluoride, but then it could basically work in the similar manner for any color change based test. Fluoride is pretty much ready, as in that we're actually testing as of now. But yeah.
Put the mic from there.
One one important thing that we think will make a huge difference is that our coliforms test that we are working on, we are getting results within 20 minutes to 80 minutes, as opposed to the 24 to 48 hour H2S strip test. And that is a modification on that device. It's a little more expensive and a little more complex than what it is, but not much more. No. Right now we are focusing on yes, no, but we think that the speed at which it gives a result is an indication of the count of coliforms. We are in the middle of writing a paper on that. We'll publish it soon, peer reviewed and all that. We are writing paper on this also. We'll get it peer reviewed, verified by experts, only then. I completely. Yes, and that's a big feeder into the sanitation debate that we are having. If you can actually show people that coliforms, how a rapid test to show that this source, because you have open-defecation, your coliforms count is so high in all your drinking water sources, that's the best cure. Absolutely. Absolutely. So much, what we're planning to do is making much of these data points, even when we give it out to people when we sell it, we want everybody to make all these water quality data points available as public and open data, so that we can build a better and better map of India for all water sources, groundwater, surface water, everywhere.
So one of the things from, we have a small project called Neerjal. We do it water testing and uploading the content on the web. But it's a manual going, collecting, and then coming into a lab and testing and then putting, but community does that. So we are quite excited that as soon as they are ready, we are going to do that for 250 villages that we already do, so that you will be able to see that, some bigger sample level of comparative data, and and see how it works with the community. So can I now invite Vodafone to share how do they think that we can work in collaboration with this entire thing that you saw, and then I will ask you.
I liked Alex's idea about having a so also speak about your willingness to participate in such a meeting.
Good evening again, everybody. First of all, I would like to really appreciate what UNICEF and DEF are doing, and they have brought in together this kind of a forum. For me and my colleague here, Sri Hari, actually an eye-opening session today. So because sitting in Vodafone, we think about many other things, but not all this. So it's like kind of right now, out of my imagination, how a mobile phone can really drive sanitation. But definitely it's a very good cause. As we discussed in the morning, earlier sessions also, a mobile phone probably is a necessity, but still not sufficient, as we said. Yes, as a technology, as an infrastructure provider, Vodafone definitely can enable this, but how the last mile really gets the advantage, we need to really think on this. I may not be in a position to answer that right now, like we have had some workshops, that is more of that is required to kind of take it off from here. As far as infrastructure is concerned, Vodafone is like right across India. So once something gets agreed upon, the methodology, the modalities and all those things, I'm sure that will not be a challenge. So for that, we here in Tamil Nadu probably are not the right people for that, but I'll take this through to the people in our corporate, as we were talking in the morning about the Vodafone Foundation. They are the right people who are into CSR and all. As somebody else was also mentioning in the presentation, a lot of corporates are contributing more for education and all. So Vodafone right now is heavily into girl education specifically. This is one more topic that we could look into, but we'll have to just talk to the right persons and we'll put this word to them, and we can put you to them also to take this forward. That is what I think we can say right now. As far as technology and infrastructure is concerned, we are everywhere. So to enable should not be much of a challenge. Can go closely, yeah, that's what. So since we were talking in this group, we were talking about young girls, adolescent girls and all, especially if we could use them to drive education about having toilets at home and not open defecation and all those things. So yes, there can be some dots which can be connected. We'll have to just take it further from here. Thank you.
Okay, the good news is that DF already works with Vodafone Foundation as well as Vodafone for about 4 or 5 years. And in fact, because of that relationship only, Rohit has been assigning people to participate from Vodafone in Madhya Pradesh also, here also. Wherever we go, the circle comes there to participate and all that. And you rightly said that whatever is going to be done, it has to be done either through the CSR or through the foundation. So, we are putting that into an agenda that we will take it separately with them to work on this agenda, apart from various other things that we work with them. But this particular agenda, social and behavioral change, becomes easy, yeah. Then it becomes very easy. Central level,
The circle offices to take charge. Sure.
Yeah.
You will not have to go and educate my counterpart and say a Bombay or
Right.